Hey everyone. As that now I'm trying to figure out if I'm pregnant, I want to talk about my miscarriage. Well, my miscarriage scare and then my miscarriages. The reason why I wanted to bring this up because there's a lot of people who go through this problem and want to hear stories from other women about their miscarriage stories so they don't feel like they're alone, you know? Some women just want to hide, but others want to read other people's success stories, other people's trauma, other people's pain, just to get a feel of what they're going to be going through. So, sorry about that. 1 second. Now, miscarriages happen to 1 in every 4 women. It's pretty common. There's nothing that you could do about it. It just happens. It's not your fault. For the most part, it is not your fault. If you did something to cause a miscarriage, then I could understand, but for the most part, it is not your fault. So don't feel guilty that it happened to you. I had 1 miscarriage scare, and the other 2 were just plain old miscarriages. So here's what happened. Now, the first time that I actually was introduced to this world, I don't know why I called it that, but it's something that, I just had to say. But the reason why I thought I was pregnant was because I took 2 Dollar Tree pregnancy tests. I normally do take them. I still stand by their product. And it's just, I don't know why it happened like that. Maybe, I guess. Nope, I didn't. I'm actually thinking about it now, and no, I did not wait past 5 minutes. So what happened was that, let me rewind back. Now, August 23rd, 2014, I lost my dog. And this seems really, really insignificant to a lot of people, but to some people who have owned pets and loved pets, you can understand my grief. I was heartbroken. I just didn't know what to do. I was in bed most of the time. And the days that I wasn't out of bed, wasn't in bed. I was with my family, with my daughter, and I felt really weird, which obviously in mourning you would, and I had missed my period, and I didn't get it for at least 2 weeks. So, what happened was that I decided to take a pregnancy test, and it came back positive. I went to the Dollar Tree again, and I got another test just to see if I had gotten a fake positive or whatever. Took it, and within, I'd say, 2 minutes of the pregnancy test, just trying to absorb the urine, it came back positive. So at that point, I wasn't ready to have another child. My daughter was just 1 year old, and I didn't want anything happy to come into my life at that moment, which is really, really weird. And I knew that all that grief that I had wouldn't be good for the pregnancy. So I wasn't too happy about being pregnant. So 2 weeks after my period was supposed to come, I got my period. But I mean, you could understand, I'm thinking that I'm pregnant. So I went over to go to the hospital. I went to St. Joe's, and I had taken all the tests, and they said that it came out very negative. That I was definitely not pregnant. That I was never pregnant. They looked at my uterine wall. They did everything. I was just. They pretty much. They made sure that, it was top to bottom. But the one thing that caught me off guard, instead of being very sensitive to my feelings, the one nurse that was, not nurse, but one doctor, it was a woman, she was very cold-hearted. She was just like, oh, you're not pregnant. You never were pregnant. And she looked really angry at me. And I was thinking to myself, what did I do to this woman that she's just that angry? I told her, I said, in the nicest way possible, because I don't like making people's lives difficult, especially when they're doing their job. So I said, but I took 2 pregnancy tests and they came back positive. Just like that. Not anything rude or anything. And the woman looked at me again, like with this stern, angry face. And she was just like, what brand were they? And I said, I got them off the Dollar Tree. And she was just like, well, there you have it. They're cheap. You go for the money-making one, like the ones that actually Clear Blue or, First Response. And I was just like, okay, no problem. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't complain about her. Nothing. I just figured maybe she was having a rough day, but still, don't take it out on me. I did nothing wrong to you, and I was trying to be respectful. So, I just went home and I spoke to my husband, and my husband was like, yeah, but the last time we went to a clinic, didn't they do the Dollar Tree test on you? Like, I saw it. And I said, yeah, they pretty much did the Dollar Tree test on me. They did it twice, and that was it. And he goes, what is this woman talking about then? I don't get it. So, that was my scare. And then in July of 2016, I had my first miscarriage. And that was really weird because I remember like if it was yesterday. I was trying to give my daughter breakfast. And the other days, like, I had started spotting. I was spotting for about a week. It looked brownish. It looked like a normal spot. And with my daughter, I had a whole month of just spotting. So I didn't think much of it. And I had a panty liner on, obviously, because that was just helping me keep my underwear clean. So, I was feeding my daughter, and then all of a sudden, I felt this, like, splush. It was like God had turned on the water fountain or the faucet in my body, and it just went out. And at this moment, I was supposed to be 6 weeks. Like in the middle of my 6 weeks. I would have been going on to 7 very shortly. But it just, like I said, it just came at me like a wave, and I was like, what the hell? So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go to the hospital. I had to wait until someone came to the house to actually watch my daughter, because I wasn't going to bring her to the hospital. So what I did was I fed her. I did everything. I rushed. I put on a pad real quick, and then I just lied there. I tried to lie there, and then I got lucky because my sister-in-law, she was coming over. It was, I think, 1 o'clock. And I had asked her, I was like, listen, can you watch your niece? I have to run over to the hospital. She was like, why? I go, because I think I'm having a miscarriage. Could you not tell your brother? I just want to make sure that I do this on my own. I don't want him to rush home. And if he does come home, just let him know that I'm in the hospital. So I went by myself. I actually walked, because I'm not the type of person to go, hey, can I get a ride? And the hospital's like just around the corner. So I was not going to bother anybody. So I walked around the block. And this is St. Mary's, mind you. I went in, and they took all the tests, and finally, like after my husband gets out of work, which was like hours later, they told me that I had miscarried, that my fears have been confirmed, miscarried. And the funniest thing was that, or the saddest thing was that I wasn't genuinely disappointed, because I knew that I had miscarried. It wasn't like, oh my God, I didn't know. No, I knew that I had lost. But I had, sorry. But I had asked him, I was like, listen, hold on one sec. So what happened was that I had asked him, I was like, listen, how long, do you know exactly how long I was pregnant for? And he was like, no, we can't determine. I was like, did you see anything at all? He was like, no, it could be in the hold on one sec, my daughter is coming over. My daughter saw a mini with roller skates, and she's just like, mommy, mini skates. I'm just like, ugh, I told you we'll get it we'll get it today. You gotta wait for your daddy. So anyways, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I had asked him, I was like, listen, is there anything in there? And he was like, it could be in the canal of your vagina, but we can't see anything past a certain point. So if it's still in there, then it's almost ready to come out. So I was like, all right. So I mean, it was a few days. I bled, and it was like a regular, for me, I felt like it was a regular period. But the only thing was that there were like a little bit bigger clumps than usual. There was no pain, no nothing. And let me just say, this was the funniest thing. The doctor saw that I wasn't crying, right? So he turned around and said at least 4 to 5 times. He looked at me dead in my eyes and said, and rubbed his kind of like not rubbed his belly, but like just showed me where it was around his belly area. And he goes, "There is nothing in there." And he said that 5 times. And I just wanted him to leave. Mainly because he was just at this point, like, angering me. I said, I think I said, "I know," like twice. And I nodded my head like once. The first time I nodded my head. The 2 times after that, I said, "I know." And then just the other 2 times, I was, there was nothing I could say. I was just like, I looked at him like, "Didn't I answer you?" But then I cried, and then he was like, "Okay, now I can leave." What the hell, man? So, that was pretty funny. To me, it was funny. And then, the nurse came in, and she was like, "You're young, you can have more babies." To be honest, that's not the point. I wanted that baby. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to stay pregnant, have the baby, do what I want to do. There's a reason why I wanted that baby. I'm not going to say the reason why, but there's a reason why. So, I got, like, I had all these things sticking out of my arms and whatever. And as soon as the nurse, she was kind of trying to talk to me and tell me that it was going to be okay. She kind of forgot to put the pressure on the vein. And I'm walking out, and all of a sudden I see that there was just blood everywhere, just blood on the floor. I was dripping all over the place. And I said, "What's going on? Didn't we put a Band-Aid on? The Band-Aid's not doing nothing." So the woman's like, "Oh my God, I was talking to you, and I forgot to put the pressure on." I was like, "All right, no problem. Just help me. I'm bleeding all over the place. I don't want to get blood on myself." So she helps me out, puts the Band-Aid on. That was it. I left. Came home. I cried a little bit, but it was not grief. Like, I got over it in a day. So that was the first one. I figured that, I looked it up, and it's common to have more than one miscarriage. But I thought to myself, I'm not going to have another miscarriage. I don't think so, right? So, in October, I had my second miscarriage. And that was fun beans, too, because I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely having a miscarriage. I took a pregnancy test. It was clear blue. I took another pregnancy test. It was first response. Both of them came out positive in September. Okay, cool. So 6-week mark comes around. And I was like, okay, I'm having another miscarriage. The same exact thing happened to me. But I just knew. Hold on one sec. Sorry, my daughter came in, like, running, panting like a puppy. It's weird. So, where was I? I think I was, okay, second miscarriage. So yeah, I knew, and I didn't even go to the hospital. I just waited. I just waited until, like, blood just stopped. And then I made an appointment to my gynecologist, because that is what the hospital pretty much did. They didn't give me any medication. No, nothing like that. All they wanted to do was they checked me to tell me, yes, you had a miscarriage, and be on your way. So that was I didn't want to go through all of that again. So I pretty much made a judgment call. I waited. And then I went to my gynecologist, like, weeks later. Actually, a month later. I'm sorry. A month later. And I just, they were like, well, we really don't know what's going on. We don't know why you're having these miscarriages, but it's common. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me. I mean, I went to the doctor, and I mean, they didn't know what to say. They didn't know how to, you know, how to tell me. And they had specifically stated that once I have a miscarriage, that I need to immediately go to them. That was what they said. I figured just let it bleed out and then go afterwards. But they had specifically told me, no, you should definitely be seen immediately by their doctor, so they can get some tissue samples, which is fair. I could understand that. So they could understand why I'm having that miscarriage. And that's pretty much it. I mean, my one miscarriage story, my one miscarriage story, and then 2 miscarriage stories. If you have a miscarriage story that you want to share with us, or you want to know more, I'm pretty sure that other people, or if I can answer you, I'll answer you. I will put some links in the description. If you just want to like vent about it, vent about it. You know, we see you. We understand you. We are people that probably watch this have gone through the same thing that you have gone through. You know, you are not alone. So if you want to subscribe, be my guests. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if, like I said, you're not alone, share your stories, vent, do whatever you want to do on this this video. I will try to listen as best as I can, and I will give an opinion, because it's not, for me, it's not facts. I cannot give you facts. I'm not a doctor. So I will give you an opinion, and you will take it as you will. So thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.